welcome back to my channel. Get cozy and hear a little bit more of our story. And I took a little clip and I put it over on TikTok. So I put it over there and one of them has almost 16,000 views and all these people asking for more, so many questions and everything. So I can only do short little things over there. So over here on this channel, I'm gonna go more into depth and answer probably a lot more questions as I explain it and do the videos. But I know the first two were really boring. My nephew Michael said I was very boring and that this should be called Boring with Lori. Nice, right? So this is for Michael. Normally when I tell the story, I'll tell them, you know, talk in a spooky way or whatever. But so I just figured, so many people were like, what? That is crazy. I swear, I have not met somebody who has even close to a match of our story. I mean, this should really be a movie. I would watch the movie. I know a lot of people would. We've seen movies where, you know, about creepy neighbors, or like Lifetime movies with somebody, you know, a voyeur, somebody's watching and people getting harmed by neighbors and all kinds of stuff. We're everything all in one. So welcome to the show. I started out, I told you guys about how we met the neighbors. And it was just a little weird, a little too much. So we started pulling back, and that's when they got really bad. So things started happening. So I think I had ended off with you guys with, I had gotten up in the middle of the night, and I had, if you didn't see the first two videos, you might want to go back. I got up in the middle of the night to make Joey some milk, and I see the neighbor, 4 o'clock in the morning in the pitch black. My husband was already gone for work. And he was in our dining room window, right off my kitchen. And every time he smoked, he was taking a drag of his cigarette, it lit up, and I could see the side of his face looking at me. And that was like sheer panic, for real, sheer panic. I was pregnant with my daughter Kaylee, and Joey was just 2 years old. He had just turned 2. So I get the milk. I did not even know what to do. I was shaking, didn't know what to do. I told Rich. We decided, I mean, this is what we did not want problems with our neighbors. We had never had problems with neighbors before. We just, you know, we're regular people. My parents' neighbors growing up and everything, they're just amazing people. I was not used to this at all. Did not expect it. We did not do anything to bring it on to ourselves. And we did not call the police, and we didn't, everyone say, you know, did you press charges? What happened to the guy? This is not where it ends. This is where it just begins. So we kept thinking, if we just ignore them, they'll stop. Nobody else, we lived in a cul-de-sac that was right off of a main road. They were right behind us on the main road. So they were not in our cul-de-sac, but all of those neighbors knew them. They didn't have any problems with them. We just kept thinking, oh my gosh, they're just being like ridiculous. Let's just ignore them and it'll stop. Let's just not make them any madder at us, you know? We were just afraid of pissing them off anymore. So didn't do anything. We didn't do anything. It was 2006, 2007, and we didn't have our cell phones and all the like social media that we have now. We didn't have any surveillance cameras. We didn't have anything. We had a video camera and a regular camera, and we had our flip phones. I think we had flip phones at the time. There was no instant taking a picture if I see what you're doing or anything like that. Nothing to show proof. So we just said, we'll ignore them. So we start going about our days, right? And we'll be in our house talking about it to people, friends over. They would be standing in front of our house. We had a big open window in our living room, and they would be cursing at us and giving us the finger and things like that if we had company over. But the scary thing that happened next and continued, we could not figure out how, but we would be saying things inside our house, and then we'd be like out in our yard, and they would be out there yelling over the fence to us things that we said in our house, private things that we said in our house. And it would be like, I remember specifically one of them was, I was talking to Rich about, or Rich was talking to me about, it was one of us had a dream. It was a weird dream. I remember that. We were talking about it, and when we went out there, they started yelling about that and talking about, oh, you had a dream about such and such. And we're like, oh my God, my stomach felt sick. I remember just like the blood draining out of my head. It just felt like dizzy. Like, how is this real? How is this for real? Like, I don't even understand how this is my real life. How do they know? Like, we unplugged the baby monitor because we thought they were listening that way. Rich checked everywhere because this guy had said multiple times when we first met him how he did work in that house before we moved in. So we thought, oh my gosh, maybe he bugged the house or something. And we were asking everybody. We were talking to all our friends and asking, like, what do we look for? What, Rich is an electrician. I mean, he looked everywhere. He went crawling up in the attic, in the basement, and everywhere, thinking, like, where the heck, One night we had gotten up, and there was the chirping of a smoke detector. And I'm like, where the hell is this thing? I could not find it anywhere. The thing was going off for hours. I could not find it, and it was driving me insane. And because you hear the chirp and it kind of echoes, and I'm like, it's in the kitchen somewhere. I know it's in the kitchen somewhere. And it turns out it was in a weird spot, like underneath the kitchen cabinets. There was this picture window. There was this big bay window, and it was like underneath, inside, almost like somebody stuck it there for, oh, this will be funny when the batteries die. So it was things like that. Like, he could have just put it somewhere in a super weird place that we couldn't get to. I don't know. I don't really know how, but it was starting to get crazy because got to the point where we could not even have a conversation in our house about anything of any importance whatsoever. So we started whispering in our own home and writing things down and passing notes to each other like we were in school. I mean, to live like that, it was insane. It was insane that we were living like that. And we didn't know what to do. We had no idea. We couldn't even fathom how bad it was going to get because we just figured it would just be annoyance like this. It was just going to be them trying to get under our skin and be annoying all the time. And it was just every night at dinner time, we would be sitting at our table eating dinner, and they would just be standing right outside the fence, outside our window, just staring at us. There was nothing. We had to keep our blinds closed. It was so bizarre. So there you go for today. I want to keep the videos kind of short, but I think I went into a little bit more detail about why we didn't really do anything and how it was just different times. We didn't have any quick evidence, and there was no way to trace the phone calls when that starts. So I'll give you if you want to see more and you want to follow our story, just make sure to like the video so I know that people are watching and liking it, and leave me a comment if you want, and make sure to subscribe if you want to be able to see more of the videos. And I'll just be doing little clips over on TikTok, but to get more in depth into the stories over here, I'll be doing these like 10-minute videos and talking a little bit more about it. But I'm happy to answer any questions, and if you have any crazy neighbor stories, I'd love to hear them, to know that I'm not alone. We have great neighbors now. We're super lucky, but it's not always like that for everybody, that's for sure. So I hope you're having a great weekend and having a great night and enjoying that extra hour we got this weekend. So until next time, I'll be doing videos pretty frequently. So bye-bye.